Bruce, Grizzlick and McAvoy get their goals. Overall, just how did you see your D's impact how much action you were getting around their net, whether it was retrievals, moving the puck, or shooting?
Well, those are the guys we rely on for offense. They came through for us, but it was a real struggle at the other end. Our first touch tonight was probably as poor as it's been all year, and it led to some goals against. So it's nice, Fluto, when you can learn lessons when you get 2 points. We were able to outscore our mistakes tonight. And good for Grizz and Charlie. I mean, they're the leaders of the back end right now with Kevin Miller out. Carlo trying to find his game again. So happy for them and good spots. Like Charlie, he's going to the net there. That's okay. We're down and he's going down to keep a puck alive. It happens to be a rebound right to him. And Grizz is, getting a quick shot off on a face-off play. So, and then in overtime, I thought they did a good job managing their game as well. I know Charlie guy got behind him, but I don't think that was necessarily on him. So good job in the third period specifically, and then down the stretch to give ourselves make, good calculated plays.
Matt Porter.
Bruce, what would be the message to the young defenders after tonight? They still played, it's not like, you were benching anybody. It didn't seem. I mean, what would their message be, and where do you think their minds are at after seeing their teammates kind of come through for them?
Well, yeah, I mean, on the back end, it's hard to sit a guy like you can a forward. You can certainly send a message with a sort of, lack of a better term, like you do with your children, a timeout, a temporary timeout, and rethink some things and reset. But overall, I think with 60, you got to play guys for the most part. The message was, especially if you're going to go up the middle of the ice in the National Hockey League, you need to be clean. You need to be on the tape. You need to be assertive. You need to be sure, because if you're not, clean, you're going to get somebody hurt. Like, for example, the first play from Lozon up to Berge, it's in his feet. It's a slow roller. Like, that's a dangerous hockey play. And you also, like I said, are putting guys in a bad position if it's, not clean, also to receive the pass. So, two of them resulted in goals. So the lesson learned is, you look up the middle of the ice, and it's always one of the better breakouts if you can execute it. We've seen Charlie McAvoy do it here at a young age, early on. He just has that ability. Some of the other guys are going to have to, sort of figure out, when it's there, when they can make that play, and if they do, make it hard. So that was the message. Again, we need these guys to grow their game. They're in the lineup every night. They've defended and played hard. And so that was some of the messaging. And then, a little bit to the rest of the group back there, and even some of the, just to stretch your question into, maybe our fourth line is, when you're a young player in the National Hockey League, you're given an opportunity to play here. When things go a little bit awry, like, we cannot rely on Brad Marchand to bring us energy in terms of physicality, or we should not have to, I guess. And Brad's a leader, and good for him. He tried to get a spark, but that's where the Lozons can make up for, a Clifton, a Zaboral, a Kuhlman, a Senyshyn, a Frederick, a Bleed. We need those guys to sort of turn the tide of the game with some physicality, some energy, something to get the bench excited, the crowd excited. And I'll put that with the D as well. And so that was a bit of the lesson in the messaging tonight, in the second period intermission, that, kind of spelling out a role for certain players. And you hope the rest of their game grows, Matt, in terms of their execution, just with time and a little bit of confidence, knowing that they're staying in the lineup. So we got through it, but I'm not sure it's going to work against Pittsburgh. So hopefully it's a one and done.
Jimmy Murphy.
Coach, a great segue there to my question. But first off, love the bow tie.
Yeah, I'm lukewarm on it. They were presented to us. It's either a tie or bow tie. So I went with Dino. And I'll have to wait for the feedback. It's probably the first time I've worn one in my life. Even a tuxedo, I think I have the black tie. But thank you. I may have to consider it now.
Good stuff. But yeah, I mean, just Marshy, though. I mean, as you referenced there, clearly he's trying hard out there to just say, guys, come on, let's go. we talked a couple of weeks ago just about his value to the team and what a leader he is. Just again, what did he show tonight?
Well, obviously the on ice play, made some plays, got on the score sheet, scored a nice goal in the power play. Did his job. And in that instance, he just finished a check and annoyed somebody. And again, get the attention of the other team, get the attention of our bench to get the energy level up. It was loud in here tonight for, when you have no fans, Jimmy, for the longest time, like even a small amount gives you some juice. So I think it helped in that regard. So all around, good for Brad, recognized it. That's what I said. There's other guys here that obviously as a staff, I have to spell it out better for them. But I think Freddie was doing a lot of that earlier in the year and has gotten away from it a little bit. So, and those other guys that are trickling into the lineup, in and out, you take an NHL player like Wagner out to give other guys an opportunity. They have to recognize in games like tonight how they can impact the game, affect the game when things maybe aren't going your way to turn it. So, we pointed that out and hopefully, like I said, we learn and at Cliffy as well. Tenorti's been in this league a long time. Camphor, he stayed in. So recognize that, he can also bring some physicality to make sure that the other team knows that it's not going to be an easy night.
Last question, Joe Haggerty.
Hey, Butchie, it seemed like stat sheet wise and eye test wise, the Krejci line was your best tonight. How important was that? And in your estimation, what were they doing well?
Well, Richie goes to the net. If you even look at Grizz's goal, the face-off win, Krejci is good in the circle, like Bergie. So offensive zone draws. In fact, Krejci, I think sometimes is one of our, on his offside, it does a really good job for a righty, going in that left dot. So 1-1 tonight, Smitty was there to pick it up, and you either attack the net or you kick it out. So he kicked it out, but Richie got to the front of the net. I think he did that well. Rich, he turned down a few shots around there and, found Krejci in the slot. That's what he tends to do well. They got through the neutral zone clean for the most part. That helps too. Hags, they're not turning it over. They're finding their spacing and getting through like I said, through there and over the blue line and making a few plays on the rush as well. So, maybe it's coming together for them a little bit. I know I moved past over there. It seemed like him and, their line was going that well. So move Smitty with Bergie and Marsh for a little bit. And then, kind of play, the pieces fell back together later, coming out of some special team situations. So good, solid game for them. We need it. We need the goal scoring. That. So hopefully they can build off these types of games.